The introduction to the song is made up of 3 actual chord positions. 2 of them are relatively easier to play. The third one, quite difficult, I'm sure. So I will offer an alternative to that particular position. These 3 chords, 3 positions basically, are all based on 2 chords, a B flat major and a C major. Harmonically speaking, these 2 chords belong in the key of F, meaning that later on when we improvise or create new alternative chord positions from these, the notes that we will use to borrow from are going to be from the key of F. So it's not that the song is in key of F, but we have a temporary chord progression. I mentioned this in the introduction that this tune has a harmonic richness to it, and we are temporarily. It's possible to view the song as being in the key of D in some ways, and sometimes a song doesn't have one constant key signature. It goes through different temporary tonal centers. These 2 chords, in the introduction, the B flat and the C, borrow their notes from the key of F, and that's all you need to know right now, and later on we will elaborate on those. The positions that I've chosen are as follows. So we're finally getting into the arrangement itself. The melody is the C, that's a D note, of course, on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, played with that rhythm just like the original recording. And the chord that I use to play is kind of a B flat. These 3 notes outline the triad: the B flat on the 5th string, 1st fret, the F on the 4th string, 3rd fret, and of course the D that we already mentioned. But in addition, I also pluck the open G string. One of my favorite guitaristic things to do is to play fretted notes while also hitting some fretted notes with open strings. A blend of those really highlights the beauty of the instrument. So that's what's happening here. I'm playing a B flat triad with the fretted notes. And in this case, the open G represents the 6th. This is the major 7, the A, and that's another B flat. That's a plain B flat triad, but I'm leaving the G ring open and I'm kind of plucking them together, and I'm inside this voicing. I'm playing the rhythm on that melody note. And I'm playing the bass and the chord notes less frequently, but every time it might be slightly different. So sometimes I might arpeggiate, sometimes I'll play that in a block fashion. Moving on to the next position, these 2 notes, the bass note and the chord note, the B flat and the F, move up a step to be playing now a C and a G, 5th string, 3rd fret, 4th string, 5th fret. But instead of moving all 3 notes up, which would mean an E on the 2nd string, I want to maintain the D, because that's how the part goes. So what happens is that although my 1st finger continues to play the bass note, I switched my fingers around to be able to accommodate that change. So now I'm playing this note, the note on the 4th string, with my 4th finger, and now my 2nd finger reaches to play the D on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And I continue to play the G on the third string, and that very slight, inevitable detuning between these two G notes, they're never quite exactly the same. It creates kind of a chorusing effect almost. And hearing them ring together from the same instrument sounds quite lovely in my opinion. So at this moment exactly, I'm playing the notes C, G, another G, the open G, and here's the D on top. Put together, these two voicings. It's the same rhythm. However, when I end this phrase, there's a little melody. E, F, E, C. I have chosen a very difficult position to play to outline that because I wanted these two notes to ring together. And that's why I said that I will offer an alternative that is a lot easier to play, but you don't get that open string. But nevertheless, if you can play this voicing, that's great, and that's why I'm going to demonstrate it. So basically we're still on the C chord, and the melody, like I said, is E, F, E, C. Except in this case, I'm playing the C or the E and the F on separate strings, so they kind of blend into each other. So that F rings all the way to the end. I find, again, a nice guitaristic thing you can do to let the notes ring at the same time. So for one thing, you can use this fingering. So now I'm playing on the bass note, the C, I'm playing it with my second finger now. And these two notes, the C on the third string 5th fret and the E on the second string 5th fret, are played with my fingers 3 and 4. And my first finger is stretching down to play that F. This is not what I did. I took my 4th finger and created a partial little, you can also do it with a 3rd finger, that's a really difficult stretch. But I used my 3rd finger to play these 3 notes, what would be the C triad, the G, C, and E. But I don't lay it across all the strings. I leave enough room so that I can, underneath it, hit that F on the 1st string while holding down the bass, again with my 2nd finger. So it sounds like this. But again, you can play this. The other, much relatively easier solution is to simply not compromise the melody, but you won't get the blending effect, and that is simply to play a C, to play the chord like that. You can do it with a slide, or you can finger the chord like this. Then the pinky can reach for the F and let go, and then you pluck out the note. So it's still based around this triad. Alternatively, you can play the same triad here, but with the 1st finger, and then the bass will be with your 4th finger. Then you play that movement with your 2nd finger. So you got this option, this option, this option, this option, and this option, which is what I did. Regardless of what finger you end up choosing, the total effect of this introduction sounds like this. And the second time you stop, 1, da, na, 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 and that's when you play those pickup notes, which really are the pickup notes to the downbeat of the next measure. If you have difficulty, I did something that I found myself doing, which I don't know how I ended up doing on the video, but after I finished playing this, I found myself not being able to catch the chord all at once. Sometimes I manage, sometimes I don't. What you want to reach for is the first thing that you're going to play, and the most important thing you're going to play. So that would be the melody. So in this case, I just found myself playing this first, and then I added. So let me demonstrate that introduction one more time. Play it really slow.